Welcome back, y'all, to another day here with CM.Works. So just to recap on what we've been doing is this is a 66 Ford 250. We're going to put a 7.3 liter diesel in it, and decided to get rid of it and get this mechanical DT466 put in this frame here. And we did so. We shortened the frame. It was a long bed, single wheelbase truck. It's a 99 Ford 250, Ford F250 frame. And we shortened it up, took 20 inches out of it. And today we're going to be working on finishing the motor mounts. I've been doing a bunch of research on motor mounts. And I watched, I think it's called Drew Man's Garage, and he put a Caterpillar motor into his Ford F350, and I know he had problems getting motor mounts too, but he found some original Cat motor mounts, I think, for his engine. But I've been looking and I can't find any really good. I found a couple stock motor mounts, but they're just not, they're kind of out of my price range. I'm not going to spend $200 or $180 on two mounts when I need three of them. Well, basically four, because there's two in the front, two in the rear of the engine. And so what I've been doing is just been doing a bunch of research. I think I may go with some Dodge Cummins 12 valve mounts. I've seen a couple of those for the rear of the engine. And then I'm just going to get some 1/2 inch thick rubber and kind of make my own motor mounts for the front, because it's a straight flat piece of steel, and it needs to be a straight flat piece of motor mount. And so what I'm gonna do is stack probably two of those 1/2 inch thick rubbers on top, and then do one on the bottom, and put a metal what did you call it? It's like a collar, metal collar that your bolt runs through and keeps everything straight. Put one of those in, but other than that, that should be it. So I ran into a couple problems putting this engine in, and one was the fuel filter was hitting the crossmember frame, the original crossmember, because I had to leave it for my suspension is connected to it. And I bought another filter. So right now the engine's running a Wix 33341 fuel filter, and that's your pre-filter, and then your main filter was the same. They had the same filter on that engine, but it was too long. It's like 8 inches, and I need like 4 inches. So I picked up a Wix 33239, but it's still hitting a little bit. So I think once I get my motor mounts in there, it's going to lift the engine up high enough, and we won't have any more issues with the clearance. The other issue is that I might run into is the let's see here if you can see this. Man, I wonder if that's the inlet or I'm not sure which one is the inlet and which one's the outlet. I'm pretty sure this is the outlet for the coolant. It's right here with this piece of metal here that's holding on the front engine here, and it's like, I don't have much clearance here, but I'm hoping once I add another inch I'll have enough for an elbow coming down, but I'm not too sure. I might have to notch that out right there, which sucks, because what I was going to do is box this in here and then start boxing that in down here. So we'll have to look and see what we want to do on it. But I got the chop saw today, so it'll be easier to cut that middle. And then the rear, the piece I put on top, let me show you here. This piece right here, obviously I know it's crooked. I just welded it on here so I can get the engine in the truck. I'm gonna, straighten everything up. But I got this piece coming up, and this piece here I think is too, it's not wide enough for the motor mount I'm getting for the rear. I think the rear motor mounts are 4.5 inches wide. So I'm gonna have to cut this off, get some of that 1/2 inch steel I used to box in or brace the frame up, where I cut the frame in half, and put up here and do I'll probably do 5 inches wide. So make this piece longer and then have another piece going down here and then box this whole thing in. And then that's the plan. And then, you know, brace the backside here going up to the engine. And these are a little off anyways. Once I made the front mounts, they were kind of off a little bit. So it's going to be good to kind of redo them. And so yeah, it should be it's gonna be a lot better to redo them. And then I know Drew from Drew Man's Garage. He boxed his whole frame in down here on the inside. And I'd like to do that, but man, that's gonna be a lot of work. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to or not yet. I don't know, we'll see. I know these engines are super heavy and I don't want to tweak the frame, so I may just box it in, but I don't know when. I'm gonna have to get some steel to do so. Other than that, folks, we'll get started here. We got the cab moved back today. I moved it back, put it on some jack stands with some blocks on the back. As you can see, moved it back as far as I can. The shifter is hitting the dash, so I'm gonna have to leave that there. But other than that, we got plenty of room to work with, which I'm happy with. I was afraid I wasn't gonna be able to get the engine far enough back, but I'm able to do so. So I think we're ready to go. We'll start cutting some steel out and I'll think about this front coolant and the coolant line here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some measurements. See, I'll go look on eBay, see if I can find a elbow and go from there. Man, I don't know. I'd say go ahead and cut it, but I don't really have like a torch or anything I can cut it with while I'm here, and then that would kind of weaken the support there. So I don't know. I would think I'd have enough room. I don't know. I'll have to take a look here and see what we need to do. If you guys could hit that subscribe button and like this video. We're doing a whole build series on this truck, and start to finish. Hopefully we can get everything finished and squared away. Alright guys, so we got the front motor mounts done, just a little bit. They're tacked on, somewhat welded on, and then I went and put out the rear motor mounts. two more 9.5 inches two 9.5 inches long pieces for either side for the uprights, and then a new upright. That is 6 inches by 5 inches, and that's going to go right back there, because the motor mounts that I'm going to buy for the back are about 4.5 inches wide, so I did 5.5 inch round, 5 inch pieces for the top halves, so that the motor mount, the 4.5 inch mount, will fit in there nicely, and it'll kind of cover up more of the original motor mount that's attached to the engine, instead of like having an inch hang off the front there. But that's what the front ones look like so far. I don't know, I need to do some more bracing, but I'm not sure where else to do it without hitting steering arms and that sort of stuff. So we'll see here. I may try and put a piece right back there, but we'll see if we can get in there. It's going to be a tight fit. I covered up my fuel filter inlet so I don't get any debris in it. Other than that, that's where we're at so far. I think I'm going to grab some lunch. But and I was looking online. I think I can get a short 90 that'll go onto this inlet or the outlet, coolant outlet, and it'll kind of 90 over it and come out. So that's where we're at so far. Got a little more. We got to do some more progress on it, but I'm running out of cutting wheel on my chop saw, so we'll see what we end up doing. So we have those angles there and an angle back there. This piece here is all welded up. This piece here is all welded up. And now what I'm working on is I'm going to make a brace for the backside, kind of like this for the backside, but it's going to be this piece. It's going to drop down to 1/4 inch. Sorry, it's going to be this piece here. It's going to drop down 1/4 inch, go all the way across, and about right where that slot starts, and come back up for the back side of it, the motor mount here. But I'm only using 1/4 inch thick steel, because, and I'm cutting it and kind of leaving it one piece, but we have to cut it down to 1/4 inch because that piece right there kind of bends up and goes to the motor. So here, I'll show you. I got that 5 inch long, drops down to 1/4 inch, comes back up, and we're just going to cut this nut off here, and then that's the piece. Okay guys, so I'm pretty done. I think I'm pretty close to being done on the front. We boxed the back side of the motor mounts in, and this side comes up underneath the frame and ties in underneath. And then the front is all welded up here. I tried to weld some of it underneath, but it is definitely hard to get to, so I'm just gonna wait until I have the truck a little higher, either jacked up or something, to get up under there to finish it up. But next step is going to be redoing the backs. I'm going to cut that tab off, weld the bigger tab on, and go from there. Okay, I got the old one off. I'm going to try and put it in the chop saw and just cut that weld off, because this bracket's still good. Got half of it on with the new motor mount in the rear of the engine, but I need to make this little notch out to go around the frame for my other piece going down. And so I have it right here. I'm going to throw it in the mill here, and we're going to punch it through with just the mill. Should be pretty simple and easy. I'm gonna go ahead and slow the speed down on this mill. We're going too fast. I'll burn the end mill up, and I don't want to do that, so we'll change the belts and speed here. It's hot. So I had to get around this bracket in here. The bolts are inside, and I can't. I didn't want to hit them, so I cut the piece a little high, but I'm still a little tall on this right here. Alright guys, so we got this all tacked up into place. We still got to add our supports coming up to that plate, and then on the back here we're going to fill it all in. So yeah, but I'm going to call it quits for today. I think we made a lot of progress. We've got the front done. I think that's looking good. And then we just got the sides here to do, and that's it. But man, I'm tired, ready to go in, call it a day, and it's gonna be a couple more days before I get back to this thing, because I got to go to work and everything like that. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Welcome back, folks. So today we're working on the other side of the motor mounts on the rear. It's been a couple days, I think probably 4 days or so. Just gonna try and knock them out the other side. Get it to where it's completed to the same as this side, but then we have to finish up our bracing and boxing in the rear mounts. And then I'm gonna order some motor mounts. I'm gonna make my own motor mounts. So we're gonna see what I can do. I found some rubber, and if you don't know this, they actually have I think they call it a durometer for rubber, and it's like the strength or the, let's see, it's like it's strength basically. So anyways, I found some rubber. I did some research, and on the durometer, usually car rubber engine mounts are about 70 to 90, I believe. And so I found some rubber, just sheets of rubber at 70, and then I'm gonna get some. I think it was like 1/2 inch by 3/4 round stock, and then I'll put that in between my rubber to keep it centered with the bolt going through it. And then but yeah, that's what we're going to use. I'm gonna try and make it my own. I've researched, and I found some that may work, but I don't know. I think I'll have better luck making my own motor mounts. I mean, they're all flat, so we'll see how it goes. Probably gonna make it at least 1 inch thick or so. We'll see. Might go a little thicker than that. Maybe 1.5 inches. Maybe 1.5 inches in the front and 1 inch in the rear to get that motor tilted back a little bit, going towards the drive shaft. For the drive shaft going to the axle. And then other than that, we'll get started here. I gotta grind off the old one that I welded on and get the new plate welded on top of it, and then get the other side of it knocked out like the other ones we did. And so just stay tuned. Alright guys, so we've been working for the last, let's see, 3 hours or so, and I'm trying to finish up the rear motor mounts. I got them to a place where I think it's going to be good enough to get the rubbers on. Right now the only thing that isn't welded on them is the inside of the frame, because I have it notched out and it goes inside the frame. It's kind of hard to get to because the motor's right there. So I'm going to try a little more, or try to get in there a little more and weld them up, but it is difficult. I might be able to get it with a stick welder, get a rod in there, kind of bend the rod and get it in there and weld it. But for right now it's all braced up, welded out. It's not the prettiest thing, but it's a box, and I'm gonna put some rubber on it and let the engine sit on it. So could have definitely did a little better job at maybe making it look cooler, but I think it's fine for what it is. I'll go ahead and show you guys them. I'll go ahead and show you them what they look like. Other than that, that's about it we've gotten done. It takes a long time to weld everything up, and I'm welding some thick stuff, so I have to stop, let the welder rest for a little bit, and then weld a little more, inch by inch, getting it done. So, but the rubbers are ordered and should be here in a week or so. So we'll see what happens. But let me go ahead and show you guys what they look like. So this is what they're looking like. It's all it's level. I kind of angled them a little bit on each side to kind of, you can't really see it, to kind of widen the spread of the load. So but it's all welded out, and as you can see, I kind of got like a little place right down there. I got to finish welding out, and then it wraps under and then goes down the frame. See, there's the inside of it, and it sits inside the frame, but and it's kind of hard to get in there and weld them out, but I'm gonna have to try to get in there. And here's the other side, and then I'm just gonna put rubber in between with a bushing that goes in between them. So. But other than that, it's this engine. So this side is shorter from the frame to the engine, and this side is longer for some reason. And I measured it, and my U-joint is lined up with my rear U-joint, so that it's straight in the frame. I guess it's just kicked off for some reason. I'm not sure. I didn't measure the engine and see for exactly sure what the center is of the engine, because everything's kind of offset on the top of the engine too. Valve covers over here, but everything's kind of lined up along here. So I'm not too sure, but it's the only thing I'm really worried about is just having the drive shaft lined up with the rear end, or the transmission lined up with the rear end, so I don't go through U-joints and stuff like that. So it's just that one side is a little longer. So, but other than that, that's the only difficult problem I had going through, and welding the inside of the frame. But we'll get to it. I'm going to go ahead and box in the front of the frame, starting I think from this bucket coming back and probably to the end of the transmission, and stop there. I'm going to box it all in, just in case, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much this engine's going to torque this frame when it revs up or anything like that, so I don't want to bend the frame or anything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and put some, I'm not going to go too thick, I'm going to have to get some sheet metal and put in there and just weld it out. I don't want to add too much more weight to the front because it's already so heavy. It's going to be so heavy. So I'm kind of just trying to lay off the weight a little bit. I mean, these motor mounts are so beefy. So I don't want to get too crazy on them, and add a bunch of weight to the front and the suspension not be able to handle it, or I go through tires like crazy. So we'll see what happens. I'll update you guys when the motor mounts come in. That's what we're going to be working on next. I mean, not motor mounts, but the rubber bushings that go in between it, and we'll get started on that. Drill all the holes we need. I mean, that's going to be a process too, getting that done. So we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, you guys. I'll catch you on the next video. If you could, hit the subscribe button and like this video. We're trying to get this truck done. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great day.